You don't look so good.
Wait, really? I can't open my eyes. It's driving me
Don't
nuts.
try to open them.
You can, but it probably won't feel great.
No, it doesn't. Oh man, that sucks. And then my eyes were burning like crazy, like on fire.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dean Avant, and for the past 32 years, I've been working as an optometrist, studying and treating every eye condition known by science. In the next 3 minutes, I'm going to spit in the face of all the crooks and liars that have been sucking cash from your pocket and reveal to you the real reason why you've been losing your vision. One that the corrupt LASIK industry is ready to spill blood to keep you from seeing it, and show you an inexpensive and completely natural solution that gives you back your perfect 20/20 vision in just a few weeks from now, without expensive glasses, painful eye exercises, or dangerous surgery. No matter how advanced your vision loss is, no matter if you've been losing your eyesight for 2 weeks, 20 years, or since your childhood, no matter if you're farsighted, nearsighted, have macular degeneration, RP, cataracts, or diabetic retinopathy, and no matter if your doctor has crushed all your hopes, saying your vision has 0 chances of improvement. So please listen, just like 87,000 people have done before you, and you'll soon find yourself in tears of joy as you throw away those nerve-wracking glasses. Just imagine suddenly seeing the world in high resolution like you always wished for, enjoying a sharp 20/20 vision that allows you to see the tiniest detail, as well as knowing that your loved ones are safe and can rely 100% on your eagle eyes in every situation. All this while you save thousands of dollars you would otherwise waste on frames, lenses, and annoying visits to the doctor. Think about never again having to stumble around in a foggy and dangerous world, anxious, not knowing where you put your glasses, or have to worry about contacts sliding from your eyes, leaving you completely defenseless in crowded, noisy places. Imagine never again having that feeling of fear and uncertainty when you think about the fact that with every day that passes, you are one step closer to the inevitable, going blind and becoming dependent on others for the rest of your days. You'll be able to take care of your kids and grandkids, drive or read as much as you want. You'll be a free man or woman, independent from anyone. You'll finally regain your younger self and leave your optometrist and everyone else shocked on how you turned back the clock. But first, who am I to make this promise? As I already said, my name is Dr. Dean Avant. I am a 58 years old former optometrist, and it's safe to say that I'm the #1 enemy of the big moguls that viciously rule the eye care industry today. 2 years ago, I experienced a tragic event which forced me to go on a dangerous journey that changed everything I thought was real about vision loss. The results of that journey have caused massive losses for the LASIK industry that spends millions on advertising just to convince you their techniques are safe, while completely ignoring the innocent folks left in pain after their procedures. If you already had LASIK and experienced the smell of burning flesh, that's probably enough to make you want to never hear about it again. But don't worry, because for the first time in decades, there is hope. This formula has already helped over 87,000 men and women of all ages to achieve crystal clear vision using this easy-to-follow morning routine, which is actually so simple, you'll be angry it's been hidden from you all these years. Just listen to some of their confessions. Helene F., 46-year-old from St. Louis, says, "I've been wearing contact lenses for the past 6 years, and it's been more than inconvenient. I've even had a severe infection when I lost one of them in the back of my eye. It was terrifying. I couldn't thank you more for this program. It allowed me to live my life as a normal person again. Just can't believe I'll never have to wear glasses or lenses again." Sharon W., 52 years from Michigan, says, "This left me speechless. I started the program just 1 week ago, and my vision is already clearer than it's been for the last 14 years. I cried a little when my doctor showed me the test results. I wish more people knew about this. It's liberating to leave your glasses at home and see all the wonders around you freely. Thank you so much." Stephen K., 42 years old from New York, says, "I was farsighted since I was 18, so I must have gone through a dozen pairs of glasses and who knows how many contact lenses so far. Now, I'm just thrilled that I won't have to go to the doctor for another prescription again. If I didn't know it's pure science, I'd say it's a miracle." Or Ronald S., a 55-year-old from Idaho, who says, "I saw your method and said, no way. I mean, all the research was there. The science is 100% accurate, and up to this day, I know all this, and yet I still can't believe that after 17 humiliating years, I no longer have to wear those Coke bottle bifocals that made me look so ridiculous. Thank you a million times." These are just some of the hundreds of messages I get every single day from people who've restored their vision naturally with just a simple morning routine. Honest men and women like you and me, amazed by this discovery, but at the same time angry they've been lied to for so long by the dirty, money-grabbing eye care industry. Now, before we move on, I hope you don't mind if I tell you how I almost ended up losing the trust of my family, my marriage, and was close to sending my grandson to an early grave. All these because of my rapidly deteriorating vision. It all started 3 years ago when I noticed I was having a hard time finding my wife at the grocery store. It was like looking through a dusty car windshield that would prevent my eyes from seeing clearly, even though I had my glasses on. I didn't panic at first. After all, I was almost 55 years old, and this was just another part of getting older, right? I'll get myself another pair of glasses and move on with my life, I said to myself, convinced that my vision was still pretty good for my age. But every morning as I woke up, it felt like there was a fine gray mist over my eyes which grew thicker every day. The degeneration of my eyesight became so rapid, I could literally feel it getting worse every morning as I woke up. As time went by, I found it harder and harder to reread my own writings, things I had written just 1 week before. I kept having accidents all around the house. One day, while I was searching for something, I accidentally hit and broke one of the crystal glasses we had received from my wife's favorite aunt as a wedding gift. When my wife saw this, she started crying. Every small daily task, things that were part of my daily activities around the house, seemed to be requiring a huge effort. One early Saturday, I was mowing the lawn and accidentally cut through an electric cord because I just couldn't see it. I tripped, falling to the ground, and fortunately, I didn't electrocute myself. "I don't know what's happening to you, Dean, but you seem so lost lately," my wife said, looking at me, and she was right. Lost was exactly how I felt in a world I couldn't see clearly anymore, only able to capture fragments of it. My vision kept deteriorating every month, and there seemed to be no lens powerful enough to make it stop. Unfortunately, the worst was yet to come. It was November 22nd, a day I'll never forget, right on Thanksgiving, when my son Joe, along with his wife Carly, and my 4-year-old grandson Georgie came to visit us. "Dad, can you please watch over Georgie for a few minutes? I have to go shopping and Carly is helping Mom with dinner," my son asked me. My grandson George was the light of my eyes, and even though I couldn't see his beautiful face too well, I still enjoyed every minute we spent together. It was just the two of us in the living room, and he was sitting on the couch next to me watching cartoons and eating M&Ms, when suddenly, my grandson stopped laughing. He coughed a few times, then he remained still and wouldn't answer if I called him. A million thoughts rushed through my mind as I tried to shake him, but I couldn't see the look on his face. I was terrified and didn't know what to do. Then I heard my daughter-in-law screaming in horror, "Joe, Mom, anyone, please hurry, George is choking." My heart stopped. I felt like I would give my life to be able to help my grandson in that moment, but all I could see was rushing bodies and noises. Finally, I heard George coughing and then crying. He had choked on a handful of the M&Ms. From what I learned later, children can cough or scream when their airway is partially obstructed. But when the airway is fully blocked, they aren't able to make any noise, just sitting there silently, in shock, unable to breathe. It broke my heart in ways I can't describe when I realized that George could have literally died while sitting next to me, and I wasn't able to help him. My only grandson could be dead by now, suffocated while I was next to him doing nothing, unable to see anything because my damn broken eyes. By this time, my marriage was also on the brink of collapse. My wife had enough of what she called my so-called daily accidents, which could have ended up killing our grandson. "I don't know who you are anymore, Dean. I didn't marry a blind man," she said to me. Hearing those words coming from my dear wife, the love of my life, and my all-time biggest supporter, was simply too much for me to bear. "You have about 6 months until you'll be completely blind, Dean," said my partner, Dr. Nate Abrams, with a sorrowful voice. The truth was, I was used to my vision slowly deteriorating as it had been like this since my childhood when I got my first pair of glasses. Every 2 or 3 years, I'd have Nate run a few tests for me, and he always has to increase my prescription, otherwise I'd have to stop my activity at the clinic. My lenses became thicker and thicker with time until eventually it became a challenge to even keep my head up with them on my nose. I was also not able to wear contacts, as my prescription was far beyond what those small, ineffective devices could support. As a doctor, I had enough insights to know I should definitely not have LASIK. Regardless of what anyone says, LASIK is a dangerous surgery, which has a higher rate of complications and painful side effects than the success rate. So I just accepted things as they are, as I always told my patients to do. But this time, this wasn't even an option. It's incredibly aggressive. Nate said to me with sorrowful eyes, "It's macular degeneration. Dean, it's a miracle you can see it all right now." And just like that, my career was over. And so were my retirement plans about traveling the world with my wife. My marriage was falling apart, and I could see the pain and sadness in my wife's eyes as I told her what was happening to me. And who would have blamed her? After all, she married a strong man who she could rely on, and now she was forced to live with a burden on her shoulders who would soon be 100% dependent on her. She would be forced to live the rest of her life with a disabled man who had almost killed her grandson. I've witnessed a lot of patients losing their vision before, but I never actually imagined that one day this would happen to me. Patients who are born blind or go blind in their early years usually have a high chance of fully adapting to an active life. But losing your eyesight at an old age is terrifying. It's basically a life sentence to darkness and helplessness. Not being able to enjoy life's simple pleasures like riding a bike or playing football with my grandkids. Being forced to a life of humiliation where you have to ask for help even for the most basic human needs. Thinking about what was waiting for me sent shivers down my spine at first. Then, in just a few weeks, made me fall in a deep, dark depression. And I'm really ashamed to admit this, but I even thought about ending my life. But as I laid there, sobbing about my future, I heard the phone ring. It was Georgie, my grandson. "Can't wait to show you my new truck and play together, Grandpa," he said with his beautiful voice. It was the moment when I swore I would do anything necessary to save my vision and be the husband, father, and grandfather that everyone used to rely on. I wanted to be a real grandfather for Georgie, to help him grow and become a man who would proudly bear my name. And that, right there, was the beginning of an incredible and dangerous journey where I risked everything, my job, my career, and even my own safety. I discovered the incredible solution to heal my eyes, even though every single medical book said it was impossible, and how I've been lied to in medical school all those years earlier, then unintentionally passed those lies onto my patients, making them believe there is no other solution for their problem. This natural formula has already helped thousands of men and women to see again with absolute clarity and get rid of those increasingly costly glasses prescriptions for the rest of their lives. Next day, I woke up early to see the sunrise. How many sunrises would I be able to watch until I fall into complete darkness? On one hand, I felt depressed and lonely thinking about the ticking bomb that was hiding in my eyes. But on the other hand, I was extremely determined to use the short amount of time I had left to do anything in my power to save my eyes before they would shut down completely. I took a deep breath as the sun slowly rose up. Then, I called Nate, and even though I couldn't see very well, my good old friend helped me research every medical journal, publication, article, and book we could find. It seemed like I was out of my mind, but after 2 months of hard work, we finally discovered the scientific vision breakthrough that was going to change my life forever and the lives of over 87,000 men and women, and counting, who thought that vision loss was irreversible. Now, did you ever wonder why your vision is getting worse every year? As a doctor myself, I can assure you that it definitely has nothing to do with your genes or getting older, even though I believed that myself for many years. It's true there are more old people wearing glasses than youngsters, but aging or genetics alone is not the real cause of vision loss, as latest research proved it. Actually, there are a lot of people in their 70s and 80s with crystal clear eyesight only because they are aware of a highly guarded secret that most people don't know. And the fact that your parents or grandparents had cataract, glaucoma, or refractive errors doesn't mean that you have to suffer from them too. Back in ancient times, people didn't have glasses or contacts, yet they survived in a world where your life literally depended on your vision. Without sharp sight, you couldn't see the panther that was slowly approaching you or spot the deer you were hunting for dinner. Women needed sharp vision too, as they were responsible for gathering wild plants and berries. Only a small glitch in your vision, and you feed your family a poisonous herb instead of a nutritious one. Crystal clear eyesight was crucial for all of our ancestors. If they couldn't see clearly, they would have died before having children, and you wouldn't be here today. So obviously the whole concept of eye disease being passed from a generation to another through genetics is completely absurd. In fact, during my desperate attempt to find something that would help my vision, I stumbled upon something amazing. A research so incredible that could save so many people, yet they didn't even mention it in med school, where we were only trained to feed Big Pharma's greedy pockets. Just a few years ago, Dr. Doris Brimmer made a shocking discovery during her tremendous research that the dirty LASIK and vision loss companies desperately tried to bury. She went to one of the few remaining hunter-gatherer tribes in the world and measured the rates for the most common eye affection, myopia. The results were truly remarkable. The rates for myopia were almost non-existent among the people still living in tribes. Now, compare this with the U.S. myopia rate, which is a scandalous 42%. That again proves that the whole idea of bad vision due to heredity is completely wrong. But if genetics is not the cause of this vision loss epidemic, then why is our vision getting worse by the day? This question kept tormenting me, even though I couldn't find the answer in what I'd learned in med school or anything I'd learned since then. As I went on my mission to uncover the truth and save my vision, I hit a lot of roadblocks and people who didn't share my enthusiasm. But eventually, I discovered the shocking reason why you've been losing your eyesight. You see, the root cause of the rapid deterioration of your eyes comes down to these 3 culprits. First, as you can easily guess, just by looking at the increasing rates of type 2 diabetes or other illnesses, that the modern world is fully infested with toxins that are literally everywhere. From chemically processed food to cleaning products, plastics, or medication, they all seep into our system, leaving us weakened, exhausted, sick, paving our way to an early grave. And just like the other organs of your body, your eyes are made up from tissues and cells that can be contaminated with these chemicals, leading to systemic inflammation and degradation. Most of us don't have the time or money to eat only biologically pure foods, even if we could find them. And even if we did, the foods on the market simply aren't nourishing enough for your eyes to function properly. Your eyes are basically craving 3 powerful nutrients that are only available through a certain combination of ingredients and should definitely be in the diet of every person who wants to see at all after 40. Now, if toxins and eye malnourishment are the first 2 causes of eye deterioration, the third cause will send shivers down your spine. It's an insidious process happening in your eyes right now named optic atrophy. In plain English, it means your entire ocular system is getting weaker because your eyes aren't actually used to the way they were designed to be used. As Dr. Doris Brimmer also stated in her research, our ancestors were hunters and gatherers. Their lives were full of adventure and dangers. Therefore, their eyes had to be permanently in an alert state, ready to switch from extremely high distance to close-ups within seconds. Their vision wasn't blocked by skyscrapers, nor could they zoom in on a screen every time they wanted the image to appear bigger. That way, our ancestors naturally exercised their eyes and managed to keep their eyes healthy and strong till the end of their days. Nowadays, we spend most of our time forcing our eyes to look at screens, laptops, smartphones, TVs, billboards, or even the GPS in our cars. Instead of using our eyes the way they were created to be used, we bury our heads in screens for hours, and as a result, here we are, living an undeniable vision loss epidemic that affects not only elderly, but lots of young people too. I sat there in shock after reading the research, thinking about the blatant truth that has been hidden from me by the giant companies that rule the eye care industry. I was both happy and furious at the same time. My whole life, I've been taught that the only ways to correct bad vision was through glasses, contacts, or surgery. In turn, I lied to thousands of innocent people that were stepping into my office, putting all their hope in me that I'll do my best to save their eyes. Instead, I was just sending their hard-worked money to giant companies that profit from your bad luck. And it's not just that. I was feeding their greedy CEOs from my pockets too. After a short calculation, I discovered that I spent at least $4,000 of my own money on glasses in the last 10 years. I thought the purpose of my life was to make people's eyesight better, when instead, I was just making it worse. I'll never forget the moment I started to see clear again after all these years. It was only a few days after I discovered this unique formula after months of trial and failure. I started my quest with my heart full of hope and worked relentlessly to combine different ingredients and test it on myself. After all, my eyes were going to shut down soon, so I had nothing to lose. I've been an optometrist all my life, so it is fair to say that I had quite some knowledge about the eye. But for putting together the 100% most powerful formula I knew, I needed serious help. So I got in touch with a team of biotechnologists, good friends of mine. Biotechnology is a really complex science, so our team had strong knowledge about nutrition, optometry, and microbiology. We worked day and night, testing every single ingredient and combination while comparing their effects on my vision. Some made me feel supercharged at the moment, only to later leave me curled up in my bed thinking I'll never be able to fix my eyes. We also tried eye exercises, which turned out to not only be useless, but very painful. After trying dozens of different combinations and almost losing hope, something incredible happened. One day when I woke up, I noticed my vision was slightly better than the day before. Of course, my eyes were still blurry, but the degradation process had stopped. After a few more days of taking the same isolated nutrients sourced from the purest sources, it finally happened. My vision got even clearer. It was the strangest and at the same time the most wonderful moment of my life. I could literally feel how my eyes were healing from the inside out. And then, a couple months after I wasn't able to help my grandson while he was choking, my daughter-in-law visited us again. It was the first time I could finally see my George's face clearly and even play football without being afraid that I could hurt him or myself. I felt extremely blessed that for the first time in my life, I could feel what it's like to be a real grandfather. "Dean, how is this possible?" asked my wife after my daughter-in-law and grandson left. She couldn't believe I was able to drive again, do stuff around the house without getting in trouble, and even take care of my little grandson. She was shocked even when she saw me using a knife to cut vegetables for lunch. So I told her the entire story, how I found out about the vision loss rates in hunter-gatherer tribes, how I uncovered the shameless lies the medical system had fed us since we first stepped into med school. I told her everything about the real causes of eye disease like macular degeneration and blindness, and also how I turned myself into a lab rat to test all those ingredient combinations in a desperate attempt to save my eyes before they shut down forever. Her first reaction was, "No way." In all fairness, something as incredible as this doesn't happen every day. But seeing my enthusiasm, she decided she wanted to give it a try herself. She had worked as a bookkeeper all her life, and staring at screens and small numbers all day long really affected her vision. Just like me, she could see better without glasses in just a few days of using the formula. Her vision began to repair at an astonishing rate. Moreover, wearing glasses again was not only useless, but gave her headaches every time she put them on. The formula worked for my wife, too. But I knew that the fact that it worked for two people doesn't mean it would work on anyone. As a doctor, I knew I needed hard proof before I could jump to any conclusions. So I needed more people who'd be willing to test the formula to be absolutely sure this really is a scientific breakthrough. And I knew exactly where to find them. You see, what I did was almost an attempt to put myself and any optometrist in the world out of business. For almost my entire life, I earned my money as an eye doctor, giving people prescriptions for expensive lenses and the even more expensive frames that I thought would help them. I suddenly felt ashamed. Ashamed of the fact that I had lied to my innocent patient all these years, funneling their hard-earned money to eyeglasses companies. And even though I was as naive and misinformed as them, I felt like it was my duty to at least try to repair some of the damage I had done. So I took my patient's database and sent an email to each one of them apologizing for not knowing better at the time and offering myself to send them 3 full months' supply of the formula on my expense. To all my dear patients, I've always had the best intentions, but I have to admit, I've done you wrong. For all these years, I was convinced that glasses and corrective lenses were the only solution to give you back your eyesight. I've always been firmly convinced that LASIK surgery is not an option, and that's because of the high rates of complication that usually occur after the surgery. Recently, I had an extraordinary personal experience which led me to discover a 100% natural method that helped me completely restore my vision. It worked unbelievably on me, and now I feel responsible for sharing this with you too. If you're interested in trying it, just send an email to the office address with the shipping details, and we'll gladly send you the treatment completely free. Sincerely, Dr. Dinavant. The response rate was astonishing. In less than a week, we had 431 volunteers willing to try anything just to get the chance to restore their vision for good and never have to wear their glasses ever again. And after only a few weeks of using my formula, 98% of them reported perfect vision. Of course, not each one of them got perfect vision. A small 2% of the subjects didn't get the perfectly crystal clear vision we were aiming for. However, even they reported staggering improvement. So a whopping 98% of the patients got crystal clear vision after testing the formula, and it only took them a few weeks to get these results. Some of my oldest patients even showed up to my house to thank me in person. I was finally helping people, Finally, truly respecting the Hippocratic oath I swore to protect, but broke so many times without knowing it or acknowledging it. I also knew that this is the biggest breakthrough of our century and will shake the foundation of the crooked vision industry. I was soon to become Big Pharma's most hated man. I had just discovered a 100% natural, clinically proven formula that goes to the root cause of vision loss and restore your vision even in the most severe cases. We called it Ocutamin, the only 100% natural formula that restores your vision without drugs, dangerous surgery, or painful exercises. Ocutamin addresses the real cause of your vision loss and goes directly to the root of the problem, healing your eyes at the cellular level and preventing them from getting infected with dangerous environmental toxins. You will finally be able to enjoy what God and nature always intended you to have: crystal clear 20/20 vision. This supplement is the perfect combination of 8 carefully mixed plant extracts and vitamins, each one of them of extremely high quality and purity. We only produce Ocutamin in our FDA-approved and good manufacturing practices GMP facility using the latest technology and equipment. Every capsule is non-GMO and safe. And based on the tens of thousands of successful results we've seen, we can now say for certain that Ocutamin is more powerful than any eye treatment in the world. I truly believe that it was God's hand that guided me through my painful journey, only to later discover and share this formula with the tens of thousands of people who've been losing their vision long enough. By now, you're probably wondering why this formula works so well. The reason why these environmental toxins are so dangerous is that they enter your bloodstream and cause abnormalities in your veins literally everywhere in your body, including your brain and ocular system. This super formula goes to the root cause of your problem and attacks it on 3 levels. First, we wanted to make sure that your eyes are 100% protected against these dangerous environmental toxins, particularly one of them called organophosphate, or OP, which countless peer-reviewed clinical studies linked to severe vision loss. In the 1970s, workers of the agricultural Saku region of Japan, who were exposed to high levels of this toxic compound, reported a high incidence of visual defects, including blurring of vision, myopia, astigmatism, eye movement disorders, retinal degeneration, optic disc edema, and optic nerve atrophy. To protect your eyes against this dangerous chemical, we added quercetin, a very powerful nutrient that not only shields your eyes, but also strengthens your sight. Then, we wanted to make sure that these toxins are flushed out of your system so your eyes can start to heal. This toxic chemical, also known as OP, is a complex of extremely tiny droplets which get into the air and ultimately pass from your bloodstream to your optic nerve. OP also interferes with neurotransmitters inside your eye's retina, which leads to color impairments, cataract, and ultimately blindness. To make sure OP and other dangerous chemicals are eliminated from your eyes, we added bilberry, an extremely powerful plant and antioxidant with anti-inflammatory properties. Now, legend says that British Royal Air Force pilots, after eating bilberry jam for tea, bombed the enemy during World War II with devastating accuracy. Their night vision was heightened by the powers of the inky blue fruit. Bilberry is an extremely powerful antioxidant with anti-inflammatory properties. It is also one of the 3 essential nutrients that your eyes need to stay healthy. It both nourishes every cell from your ocular nerve and shields you against the OP chemical. Then we added lutein. Now, lutein is a pigment that's extracted from marigold flowers and has some amazing benefits for your eyes. It's a natural anti-inflammatory and protects you from optic atrophy disease, which is the leading cause of blindness and visual impairment. It naturally strengthens your optic nerve, which carries impulses from the eye to the brain, and also activates the extraocular muscles. It works like an internal post-workout energizer for the extraocular muscles. And even though these superpower foods would already be enough to make your eyes function flawlessly, the list has 5 more ingredients, all with amazing eye protection properties. All these ingredients, combined in these specific quantities, also have a role of forming a barrier and protecting you against the 3 harmful culprits of vision loss. They also help you lower blood sugar levels, boosts your memory and focus, and skyrockets your energy levels. Moreover, they fight insomnia and even significantly lower your risk of age-related memory loss diseases. By now, you're probably wondering how much this formula is going to cost you. To be honest, it's hard to put a price tag on something that can get you a perfect 20/20 vision and makes you an independent person. All the benefits this has to offer: no more glasses, contacts, or risky eye surgery. No more living in fear that you won't be able to see your children when you grow older. This super vision cocktail is truly one of its kind. So let's consider your options here. Option 1. Go through a risky LASIK surgery and hope for the best, despite the fact that your chances of improving your vision with no side effects are, realistically speaking, extremely low. But let's say you're one of the few lucky ones who get away with surgery. According to recent research, the outcomes of LASIK last between 5 and 10 years, and after that, you have to have another surgery. And let's not forget the fact that an average price for LASIK is $4,500, which is yet another expense added to your already filled to the brim expense list. Now, I'm a doctor, and believe me, it doesn't sound like a great deal to me. Sure, there are other ways. You could continue living your life behind glasses or contacts. You could keep spending your hard-earned money on expensive doctor appointments, annoying eye tests, and lenses. And of course, if you don't want to look like a senior in your early 40s, you'd better be prepared to invest some serious money in those frames too. And contacts aren't any better either. Replacing them every 14 days would cost you about $300 a year just for lenses. And that's if you're lucky enough to only have some minor diopter, because if you have strabismus or other vision problems, you'll probably end up spending at least $600 a year. So I am asking you, how much is it worth to you to never worry about becoming dependent on others for everything for the rest of your life? To be able to dance, jump, run, and basically have total freedom of movement without worrying about your glasses slipping off your nose. To never have to worry about losing your lenses in the back of your eyes. To be truly free of every eye disease you're at risk of by living in these modern times. And ultimately, to be able to enjoy 20/20 crystal clear vision even in your late 90s. Our researchers estimated the price of Ocutamin to $499. Even my research colleagues said we would charge $199 for such a complex and powerful formula. But here's the thing. For us, it's not about the money anymore. Sure, we believe it's only fair to be paid for our work, but after I almost went blind, helping other people is more important than anything else in the world. I know I have a mission: to help as many people as I can get the perfect 20/20 vision Mother Nature wanted them to have from the moment they were born. That's why I have no intention of charging you $499 or $199. In fact, you only pay for the ingredients and a small extra fee which will help me keep this website running. So today I am happy to announce that you can finally restore your 20/20 vision naturally and get a month's worth of Ocutamin for a one-time fee of just $69 and not a penny more. This money will be used to keep the website up and running, pay the tech team behind the video, and, a little surprise for you, a special customer service team that will be here for you 24/7 to help you with any questions or dilemmas you may have about the program. They know everything there is to know about the program. Most of them have already tried it themselves and are now enjoying their 20/20 vision, so you can ask them anything that crosses your mind. And I'm going to do something even better. Our manufacturing partner gave us permission to offer a discount on the 6-bottle package of Ocutamin. You can get them for only $49 per bottle, and you also get free shipping for as long as the supply lasts. Now, if this sounds good to you, here's what you need to do next. Select the 6-bottle package or any other package you want, hit the button below, and fill the form on the other page. Once you've secured your order, in 7 days from now, you'll get Ocutamin delivered right to your doorstep. This program is about to turn your life around. So here's what I'm going to do next. Once you've selected your package below, hit the order button and secure your order. You're going to get a 60-day money-back guarantee on Ocutamin. No questions asked, no hassle, no red tape. If you don't experience great results with this formula, if you are not excited and happy that you can finally see things even in the tiniest detail and just feel the joy that a normal person does, then just send me an email and I will refund your entire investment without asking any questions and with no hard feeling whatsoever. Just imagine this. In almost no time, you'll be feeling the first results, and let me tell you, they feel good. Suddenly, it's like your eyes are cleared of a heavy fog that's taken over your vision for years, stopping you from seeing the wonderful things around you, and forcing you to wear glasses or contacts just to see your kids' faces better, or understand what's going on TV, or simply to be able to do your work. you end up believing that's just normal. They say it comes with age or maybe spending too much time in front of the computer, but once you start this program, you'll see for yourself that having perfect vision can be achieved effortlessly, and it's the most natural thing in the world. In just a few weeks, you'll throw your glasses into the bottom of some drawer and forget about them forever. And then, if you want, you can go to your doctor and let him check your eyesight. You'll be impressed to see that you've gained 20/20 vision without putting in any special effort, without surgery or medication. And I bet you $100 right now that your doctor will make you take the test at least twice, because he simply won't be able to understand what has happened to your eyes. This program works better than any other option out there, ranging from the most expensive eyewear to surgical interventions. Right now, you have to choose between seeing perfectly in just a few weeks from now or spend your whole life buying glasses because your vision keeps getting worse and worse. Think about your health. Think about your job, your family, your money, your time. Why force yourself to go through this when you can choose the easy way, the natural way that restores your vision effortlessly, and also dirt cheap if you compare it to any other method? So don't waste another second. Select the 6 bottles package or any other package you want. Click on the button below and give Ocutamin a test try now. Still here? No worries, I understand, especially given the amazing secrets that I've revealed in this presentation. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me answer some of the most important questions we receive about Ocutamin, so you can go ahead and select one of the packages below with full confidence. Is Ocutamin right for me? I'll admit, I get this question quite often, and the answer is always the same. If you suffer from vision loss and haven't been able to stop the deterioration of your eyesight, then Ocutamin is definitely right for you. The key to fighting this invisible enemy, the dangerous environmental toxins which are the real cause of sight loss, is a set of natural compounds recently discovered in some specific plants and herbs. Ocutamin is a 100% natural supplement which contains all the powerful ingredients from these superfoods, plus a mix of specific vitamins to boost their power. Once you start taking Ocutamin, it will form a natural immune barrier to protect your eyes from the toxin infestation and start to repair the damage it has caused. And after these dangerous chemicals are flushed out of your system, your vision will start to improve in almost no time, and you'll be back to the 20/20 crystal clear vision you deserved from the moment you were born. Is Ocutamin safe to use? Extremely so. Ocutamin has been successfully tested by more than 87,000 men and women from all over the world with no reported side effects. Well, maybe the only side effect is keeping your money in your pockets and not funding Big Pharma's shady business. Ocutamin addresses the real root cause of your vision loss in an extremely safe and natural way. Now, of course, if you suffer from allergies or other certain medical conditions at this very moment, we strongly advise that you consult with your medical doctor first. How should I use Ocutamin? In order to achieve optimal results, we recommend you take 1 power capsule after breakfast, lunch, or dinner daily with a big glass of water. It should provide you with the necessary energy intake as well as extra protection against the dangerous environmental chemicals. What do you mean by risk-free guarantee? We are so confident our formula will help you restore your vision that we decided to give a risk-free 60-day money-back guarantee when you secure your order today. Every single bottle of Ocutamin comes with my personal promise it will work for you and our 60-day 100% money-back guarantee. Even if you're only 99% satisfied and you don't want Ocutamin anymore, send us an email and we'll refund every penny you invested. No questions asked, no hassle, no red tape. For how long will Ocutamin still be available? First of all, you should know that the only place you can get Ocutamin is right here on this page. As for how long Ocutamin will still be available on this page, I'm not really sure. History has shown us that Big Pharma are not going to sit on the bench and watch as their profits turn into dust. They'll spend as much money as they need in legal fees to shut down this site. This may be your last chance to get Ocutamin. The choice is up to you, of course, but I wouldn't wait. This website might be gone even if you accidentally hit the refresh button. What happens after I click the button? Once you click on the link below, you will be redirected to our secure order page, where your package awaits. Once you finish your order, which will not take you more than 60 seconds, we will ship the package directly to your door. Then, you can restore your 20/20 vision in just a few weeks with just 1 glass of water and a capsule per day. I hope I answered all your remaining questions, and by now, you can safely and confidently order your own supply of Ocutamin today. Also, I feel like it's my duty to confess that in order to achieve the best results, my personal recommendation for you is to choose either the 6 or at least the 3-bottle package. So go ahead and secure your package now, fill in the shipping details on the other side, and start enjoying the benefits Ocutamin has prepared for you. I look forward to hearing your success story.